Hi.
Hello.
I miss you.
I miss you too. You're a mile and a half, and I miss you.
I'm only a mile and a half away, but we haven't seen as much of each other as well, certainly when we were in lockdown, but also just work and busyness. It's bizarre.
It's stark. It's a stark contrast because
Yeah.
we saw each other every day throughout the day. Even if you were working and I just like waved as I went by or something.
Yeah.
We had many meals together. And this, of course, is more the way one should live. But it was endearing, and it I knew it was precious time when it occurred.
I did too. It was actually like a good lesson. We were in survival mode, right? And also like this is great, but a lot of intensity. And even I feel like that experience was like a pretty crucial step for me in terms of presencing and being aware of the moment, and to your point, like knowing then that we were there for a finite amount of time, like influenced the experience in a good way to the point where like, we were in the desert for 8.5 months together. It's not a little bit of time. People go people go to Europe for a month and they say they lived in Paris. You know what I mean? It's like we were gone for 8.5 months in the desert.
There's
And
marriages that last shorter than that.
what's that?
There are marriages that last shorter than that.
Yeah, I think some people have had multiple marriages that are shorter than that. But in the sort of knowing that it was going to come to an end, it was like this is going to come to an end one way or the other, right? It's just going to either be real bad or we're just going to go back to whatever our quote normal lives are soon. So there was like a presencing experience with it that felt really good, and like also leaving abruptly, I think was really helpful. The sort of
After we were there for so long, and you had said to your girlfriend, we're supposed to be here till the end of June, but one day my mother's going to wake up and turn to Joel and say, I want to get home now.
well, I said tomorrow. I said one day soon. My mom is going to wake up and she's going to turn to Joel and say, we're leaving tomorrow. And when that happens, you and I have to be prepared to leave. So please stop having stuff delivered here every day, is what actually the conversation was like.
So, and one day I woke up and I said, it's time to go home. And Joel said, how can you tell? And I said, oh, I just feel it, everything about it. The house is calling to me. Home is calling to me. And it's going to get hot here faster than they think.
Yeah. But the Band-Aid rip of leaving, I think, was really good as opposed to, oh, we'll do it in 3 weeks. And, oh, we got to get it. Was helpful to have it feel very abrupt. And if you recall, we were ready to leave. And like that morning, you were like, hey, do you have more room in their van if we decided to leave also? So the whole thing was very like feeling last minute. But
you were amazing.
That was a lot of work.
The way you packed the van, and you were so calm. And I thought, he's really being patient because this is like, I know he has planned his move and where everything would go, and everything for 5 weeks. And I just said, oh yeah, can you fit our stuff in there? I wasn't worried. I figured we'd box some stuff up and send it, ship it back, or Joel said that he would come back and take another load. And you really did a great job, but we did. I was like, we're done. We're leaving. Get your stuff.
It was fast. It was very fast, and I was happy to help, but it was a lot of work, and I was trying to stay calm and zen, but inside I was like screaming into the void. It was a hard couple of days.
It's not easy living with your mother.
Doesn't it seem like everybody and their mother has a podcast? Oh, so I started a podcast with my mom. We wanted a theme song so you could sing along. The show, it starts now.
Tell everybody about what's back to your left, that flashing awesomeness behind you.
Oh, so that's the pinball machine.
And if you're not, I'm sorry to interrupt you. If you're listening to our podcast, thank you so much for joining us. We also have our show on YouTube. Everybody and their mother has a podcast. You can see what it is that we're referring to visually and subscribe while you're there.
Pardon me. I should walk people who are listening and not watching, walk through. I should give more description as we go. Like today, Rick and I are Zooming. We're not sitting next to each other,
There you go.
either in the desert or at my house here in Santa Monica. We're Zooming because, he's work, and this is the most efficient way to do this. And so the pinball machine is not an old pin. If I go across the room, would they be able to hear me?
No.
Oh. Hello. It's Transformers, and it's amazing because it has a lot of robots and a lot of moving parts, and it's very challenging. But even if you suck at it, it's still fun because of the way the ball goes. And after you shoot launch your first pinball, if you go to the right side, you're championing one of the Transformers, and if you go to the left side, it's another guy. I think it's a guy.
Well, it's the factions. It's the Autobots or the Decepticons. Good guys or bad guys.
Yeah, so it's amazing. And when we went to look for a pinball machine, which Joe didn't want, and I said, we have a game room, we're getting a pinball machine. Here's
Wait,
the
what did you say? You said we have a game room, we're getting a pinball machine?
Yeah, I have.
That's awesome.
I mean, and it's nothing that someone be like against for a
Sure.
life reason. It's just, And we went to the place and we walked around. We ran separate ways it's in California, and I can't give it a plug because it was years ago. I don't remember, but it's like the biggest pinball machine, whatever place. Anyhow, we each took off and went around and tried each of the games, which it's a great way to spend a Saturday.
That's
Just
awesome.
all day.
Free play.
Of course, they had El Dorado. El Dorado now has like 7 iterations that they've made year after year. Anyway, back to
With El Dorado?
El Dorado pinball machine. It's some consider to be the best pinball machine ever made. The original was, I'm guessing, the 50s. So we walked around and played and took our time and met back about the same time. And he said, I only have one. There's only one I like, and I like it. It's the one I want. I said, I only have one also. What is it? He said, I'll show you. And he took me to Transformers. I said, that's the one I picked. I mean, I'm sure they had 400 machines in there. So that was the pinball store. And he loves it. He loves it.
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Who?
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Okay.
She's the runner who won't be competing in the Olympics because she smoked some pot in Colorado, where it's legal, because she learned her mother died.
She's being hailed as the most wonderful, understanding, reasonable, those are my words, they're not the words they use, by her reaction of dealing with the committee and the results.
There was a tweet yesterday where she was like, or a few days ago, the tweet was like, I am a human being. And it has, tens of thousands of likes and comments.
They said that her reaction has made her a person to look up to.
Yeah.
Which is really what Olympics are supposed to be all about. And they said she's an incredible role model, and it's just she's wonderful.
The Onion tweeted about Sha'Carri, and it's basically the greatest tweet of all time.
I just want to say it's against the Olympic rules. They didn't.
It's against the Olympic rules.
We did just go through we are going through a pandemic, and she did lose her biological mother. But apparently rules are rules.
Yes. However, it's stupid rule that should be readdressed because it makes no sense. So there's a couple tweets. One was Seth Rogen that said, if weed is a performance enhancing drug, I would be the fastest man on the planet. The other thing that I read that I love is they should make all the other runners smoke pot and then see what happens.
They should catch up with her, and then there's no problem.
The Onion tweeted, dream crushed over trivial bullshit represents nation better than gold medal ever could.
That's precious.
Perfect. And it's the same Olympic committee who just denied swim caps that are designed for black hair. They said, no, you have to use the swim caps that we approved 100 years ago.
That's unacceptable. They should, who's they? We should boycott the Olympics. That's
The Olympic committee is not that cool. The other woman that I wanted to big up this week in the news is someone who took the world by storm. And if you Google the name Zela Avant-Garde, when you Google it, this celebratory confetti and a word and a B come down because she just won the Scripps National Spelling Bee. She's 14 years old. She's the first African-American person to do so in the history of the Scripps Spelling Bee. And her winning the spelling bee isn't the most impressive thing about her. She holds 3 Guinness World Records for basketball and dribbling. She's like a master multi-ball dribbler.
She's 14.
She's 14. And she has 3 basketball Guinness records for all this crazy dribbling. Can I show you something?
Yeah, please.
Here, check this out. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
The whole thing's gorgeous. First of all, it doesn't seem humanly possible.
She's on a unicycle dribbling 2 basketballs. Now she's dribbling a basketball while juggling 3 other smaller balls. She's got a guitar in the background. This is a name that I'm very excited that I'm just excited she's arrived. And I don't know why I hadn't heard of her before, but very excited to celebrate her this week.
Thank you. Look at the room. Look at the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing.
I'll bet she can jump rope. Really, that's amazing. And I just, on a personal opinion note, think that that little stretchy Olympic swim cap probably would not be comfortable for her.
No.
So
She's not a swimmer though.
I'm saying that she's not a swimmer, but I'm saying there are a lot of people who would not be, who that
Yes.
wouldn't even work for the whole.
Oh, look what we got. We've got a guest, a surprise guest. Come on in. Oh no, it's too late now.
I said we had someone else is in the house, and I said when Joel comes home, tell him we're taping in the basement. I said he'll probably want to come in. That's okay too.
That's the closest we've gotten to a Joel interview.
You were thinking that it would be fun to have him be the person that's always mentioned and never seen, but
Yeah.
I didn't think that would last forever.
It reminds me of in the 80s sitcom Cheers. Norm always referred to his wife Vera, but we never met her, and I thought that was a great trope. Yeah, but now that's Joel, so everyone kind of saw what he looks like. Our enterprising, eagle-eyed fans will zoom in and take screenshots and talk about him.
Maybe this will be what will bring people to the video and also
Oh, there you go.
the audio.
Check us out on YouTube to see Joel.
Went to work out, and I asked him to stop and get some bananas on the way home, and from they're gigantic bananas.
Nice.
And his time was good. We had just finished that segment.
It was good. It was good. Speaking of segments, I'll have more Aminal songs to share with you next week. I've gotten very organized. You should see what's happening here. I've got note cards on the bulletin board. I look like I'm just trying to solve a cold case with string and thumbtacks and the various stages of these songs. And I finally got my mind wrapped around the project. And I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16 completely finished. Video, songs, mixed, mastered, like done. And I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 that are completely done audio, and I'm working on the video. And I've got 2, 4, 6, 5 that need to be finished writing, 3 that need to be finished recording, 2 that need vocals, and 3 that need mixing. So I'm basically a few weeks away from like 45 of these being done.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll have more. There'll always be more because you're
There will be more, but this sort of category of funny, short, weird songs with videos does feel like a project. You know, I might go back to some other more traditional music making after this. I don't know, but I want to, there's something about, I want to finish it, right? I want to get tie a bow onto it and see what's up. But I've been sharing them a little bit on social, Aminal Songs, if you want to follow along. But most of them I've not shared, and I'm just sort of figuring out if it's a public sharing thing or if I try to do some more, you know, entertainment business development. Like maybe this is something that would be on a TV show or purchased for interstitials and something. So it's an exciting time where I'm like in the creative process, but also starting to shift from the creative to the marketing side.
That's great. It's good. It's a good progression.
Yeah, well, it's cool to see them all in a row. It's like, you know, this is my pandemic project. I focus a lot of energy and focus my madness and rage and confusion into these charming things, right? So it's like a digital extension of the emotion. So finishing it has a quality as well to be able to move on from the time when these were being made and being used to process, you know, traumas.
Yes, it's wonderful. It is.
How's your art?
Good. I almost finished the painting I was working on. I worked on it last night. And I looked at it this morning, and I want to make a couple adjustments and then it'll be finished. I like it.
Good.
It's something I had started in the desert and I was struggling with how to finish it because I felt differently. I was in a different environment.
Yeah.
Things were going on inside me. And I just put that, I spent a lot of time contemplating it, and then I put that aside and I just went back to painting it, and I really am enjoying it.
It's great. It's great.
Thank you.
Nice. Well, we took Zephyr to the vet. He's healthy. He's a healthy boy. All his vitals came back good. And the vet complimented and commented on his abject beauty. And you know, she sees a lot of cats, so she knows what's up. And she was like, almost at a loss for words. She's like, he's just a beautiful. That's just. And she held her hand like by her head, and she's like, I've seen. He's like up here. It's, you know, she couldn't quite admit that he's the most beautiful cat ever, but she also didn't say he wasn't. So it was a nice validating moment.
So, is he being more demanding now since he's heard this from?
Well, he wasn't in the room when she told us.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, it was really smart. Because the only thing worse than a needy cat is a egomaniacal needy cat.
Nice. Yeah, I just want to mention one thing. My high score on this pinball machine is 13 million.
Woo! That's impressive.
It's
What will
pretty-
happen if somebody beats it? Will you be upset?
I guess so. Somebody might have beat it. Jerry was over here, you know, in the old days before the pandemic. And I don't remember if he beat it. I don't think he played all the balls. He just played around with it.
Yeah, I think I got 9 or 10 million, but 13 is very high. I have a high score on Miss Pac-Man behind you, as some of our listeners know.
Well, you own that game. I mean, you're like one of the best at that, I'm sure.
I think I want to write a little pamphlet book on like the Zen of Miss Pac-Man, right? The art, the Tao of Miss Pac-Man. There's like a philosophy in there. Like it's about presencing and taking your time, and you reach this point, you're like, oh, these ghosts aren't chasing me. I'm leading them where I want to go. It was like a big life lesson.
But I feel like I want to speed them up and I can't get them out of there.
Speed them up where?
In the game, I feel like I want to speed up the Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man so that I can get away from them. It's frustrating.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They're actually not chasing me.
I understand, and yet I can't go the right way.
So I hear you saying that you would like Miss Pac-Man lessons.
Really? I didn't think about that.
We'll train you. We'll do a whole montage. We'll play the Rocky theme in the background. It'll be great. I love you.
I love you.
I want to thank everybody for joining us in this Zoom episode of Everybody and Their Mother Has a Podcast. If you haven't subscribed, please do so below. Listen to us wherever you get your pods. If you're already listening to this, you know where that is. Don't forget about us on YouTube. Go ahead and give us a subscribe to see this Pac-Man and Transformers machine we're talking about, as well as our faces. And tell a friend or two if you're into it. And without further ado, I love you.
I love you.
Have a wonderful day. Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, Shabbat Shalom. It's Friday.
It is.
Yes.
Thank
and
you.
As far as the video, I mean, I did put lipstick on.
You look great. You look great. You're all lit. You're smiling. Oh, your hair looks great. I'm so sorry you got a haircut. I didn't mention it.
Oh, it's at 1:00.
It looks like it's cut.
After I wash my hair, I don't even put anything on anymore. It sometimes waves like this. Sometimes.
Oh, it looks great. Good. Enjoy the cut.
You know, I put off cutting it because every time I thought I would, it did
Yep.
this. But I think it's time.
Nice. All right. I love you. Everybody out there, don't forget to call your mother.
Doesn't it seem